Let's dive into how to properly add employees to the system. We'll start by navigating from the main page to staff management, and then to employees. This is your go-to page for adding new employees and managing both them and their working hours. To add a new employee, we'll head over to the Add Employee section. The program might automatically generate a 5-digit ID number, but here, we'll add a unique number instead. Next, we'll specify the department and branch that the employee is associated with. For the employee's name, let's enter Abbas. We'll set the joining date as May 1st, 2025. The username field can be left empty, but for this example, we'll create one and use user1. Now, we'll input the password, which plays a crucial role in the employee's application. It will enable the employee to rely on their username. You'll see the option to clear the password and enter it again to access the account. The employee can be affiliated with different work zones within the device, allowing for multiple working hour profiles. We also have the option to assign employees to specific zones. For instance, the employee Ali Abbas can be assigned to week zone number 1. The program is divided into two types: the fixed schedule and the dynamic schedule. Let's start by discussing the fixed schedule. Once we've completed the other additions, if there's a specific image you'd like to upload directly or capture using the device, we'll cover that too. We have the capability to specify an employee's salary and add any relevant tags. These tags can be very helpful later on when you need to search or filter in reports. Additionally, there's the card number that the employee uses to access the premises. Now, let's click on Save. After we've added the employee data, in this case, user1 Ali Abbas, we can simply click on the schedule icon to proceed. Let's delve into fixing the employee in a fixed schedule. This allows us to track details related to the employee's working hours and duties. First up, click on Add Day to start adding the first day of the week, which is Sunday. Next, we'll click on Edit, and you'll see a new page appear. Here you can adjust the start time, the end of work time, and the work registration time, which is when the entry fingerprint begins. For instance, Ali's schedule could be that he always starts at 9 a.m. and finishes at 5 p.m. The device or program will accept entry fingerprints starting from 7:30 a.m., with the earliest exit at 12 a.m. Lastly, the latest entry fingerprint that the program accepts is at 10 a.m. The latest time a program can accept a clock out is 9 p.m. The offset for each time is displayed next to it as shown. Today, you can adjust from -6 to +6 to control working hours. A grace period of 10 minutes is allowed for both tardiness and early departures. This means employees have a 10-minute leeway today. If they clock in at 9:10 a.m., the program won't flag them as late, so there won't be any salary deductions or impact on work hours. Similarly, if they leave at 4:50 p.m., there won't be any penalties or deductions. The working hours remain the standard 8 hours. If operating on a daily wage system, once you enter an amount and activate the work value option, the program will override the initial $1,000 set for the employee and use $700 per day. This interface handles employee deductions based on delay frequency over the period. For example, if they are late by 10 minutes or 2 hours, the deduction will be applied as shown, let's say $500, which is based on the number of delayed minutes. The rate per minute is set at $10. So if late by 10 minutes, the deduction will be $100. The value of the deduction is. Let's begin with early cutting by count. This is essentially the number of times an employee exits the company earlier than the threshold of $500, considering the accuracy level, which could be set at, say, 10 based on the number of calls. Now, moving on to minimum overtime hours. This step focuses on the minimum hours of overtime that are required for the program to begin tracking and calculating overtime for an employee. This is crucial to determine when the overtime start kicks in. So when does the overtime actually start? This involves identifying the specific time it begins, and there's a unique offset applicable to this starting hour. Now, if an employee isn't prepared to work overtime, a true or false condition will be applied. We're focusing on Sunday for our calculations, where the employee is granted a 30-minute resting period. Should the resting period exceed, the charge stands at $10 per additional minute. In the event of an absence, the employee incurs a penalty of $750, termed as absent cutting. Moving on to payment rates, the standard hourly rate is $50, while overtime is compensated at $25 per hour. Essentially, the overtime price is $25. The total overtime pay is the sum of the hourly wage and the overtime rate. So, the base hour rate being $50, the overtime then becomes $50 plus $25. This calculation results in $75 per hour for overtime. We'll record this as save day, specifically scheduling it for Sunday. To extend these settings to other days, simply use the copy function. If there's a need to adjust the overtime rate to $50 on Wednesday, for example, or any other day, it can be easily configured. This adjustment implies that the overtime rate on this day will increase to $100 per hour. For example, if Friday is considered a day off, this change would apply accordingly. Finally, ensure everything is saved for the day.